actually 6:02. Roll call.
Commission Chair Francisco Vasquez,
Present.
Vice Chair Jesus Cervantes,
Present.
Secretary Joanna Esrock. Commission Chair, she advised that she's going to be a few minutes late. Commission Member Sonia Urquiza,
Present.
Commission Member Juan Lopez,
Present.
Commission Member Sergio Molina. Mr. Molina advised he was going to be unable to attend, and Commission Member Laisha Garcia.
Present.
Commission Chair, you have a quorum.
Thank you very much. Okay. I don't have anything I didn't receive any, and nobody addressed me anything for the call to the public, but anyone that has anything that was brought to your attention from call to the public? What about our website and Facebook?
No, there were no public comments via social media or the Facebook email account.
Thank you very much. Okay, we have a consent agenda. Okay, at this point, I will actually work on the minutes for the last 2 meetings, and hopefully this one I'm getting behind, but they will get done. I volunteer to this, so I don't have minutes to approve at this point. So, what are you missing? Sorry, I get excited into it. I'm sorry, I skipped one very important step, is the Pledge of Allegiance. My excuse, please. Thank you. Join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Because I was concentrated into the minutes. Okay, thank you very much. Wow. So let's go into the presentations. Item 6.1, presentation Year of the Month award to Ismael Camacho for the month of November 2021. Okay. When we visited actually the Camacho's house, it was a great, beautiful experience. I think Mr. Juan Lopez, you should be the one who should lead this, but I believe is your guest. I don't see it.
Yeah, they're not. I guess they probably forgot.
Okay, so we have a certificate. Am I right, Mr.? Would you like to present to? So in this case, I would like to present the certificate to our member and okay, to Juan Lopez. So for him to, I would like to delegate Juan Lopez to take care of this and make sure that this falls into the right hands for Sergio Camacho. And I want to say thank you for the hospitality and you know, the friendship and showing us the house and opening the doors and all. It was, for me, it was a beautiful experience. So also, please let me know when he's available so we can go and we can put the Year of the Month sign.
Okay.
And you're invited to actually, it's right here at the what is it called? The golf.
Yeah, the golf course.
Golf course area behind.
Marshall Loop.
Marshall Loop right there. It's a beautiful place. So as soon as you know when he's available, we do have the sign ready just for you to let us know when. And if you can let us know in our group, so we can just go and put it there. And this has to be done as soon as possible because he's the recipient of November.
Yes.
So 2 months behind, but they little by little things are getting done. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
In item number 6.2, presentation donation check to Sonia Urquiza in the amount of $300 for Somerton Middle School Fashion Club. They call themselves the Fashionistas. So if we want to step down a little bit just for the picture so we can put it on our official website that we have for Parks and Recs and Facebook and whatever. just for a moment.
Or can you scoot over a little bit to the center, please? 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, and 3. Thank you.
So, can you introduce the event?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Large check. I got a large check.
Wow, so professional. 3, 2. Thank you very much. Okay. Congratulations. All business, item 7.1, discussion and possible action to review duties and select the date for upcoming art and wine event. Okay, so I don't think I need to step down because this is discussion and possible. Yeah, it's an open discussion. Okay, I'm not requesting any funding, it's nothing, so we're okay. So Mr. Number one, I want to, for the record, I want to say thank you to Mr. Mesa for the wonderful essential duties and for events breakdown paper that he actually presented to us. Definitely, this is going to be giving us some common grounds to work together and to achieve our goals. So number one, thank you very much for this. I do have a question, and it's the same question that we had last time in our work session. Just give us some dates, and so we can start from there. And whatever works for your staff, for you, and we can find common grounds right now. And that's the first thing that we need to get out of the way. And your dates are?
Yeah, Commission Chair, Commission members, we were funneling over the dates and in our neighboring cities and porting dates around the region. The dates that stand out are April 23rd. That's our first recommendation, considering it deviates from Easter weekend, which is a previous weekend. And it's not in the initial portion of April, considering we're in January 19th. As much time as possible is best for organizing and planning the event and the actual execution, recruitment and everything. And the other date I would suggest is April 30th. I know it's Dia del Niño in Mexico, and here it's a smaller event at the library, but it wouldn't be a big conflict. Please note the Children's Day here in the United States, it's June 12th, and that we were informed there's no bigger events for that date either.
June 12th?
No, April 30th.
April 30th, okay.
April 30th and April 22nd.
Okay, 23rd, yes. Okay. Then that's it. So now, commissioners, check your calendars and let's lock one of those two dates offered by Mr. Mesa, April 23rd or April 30th. I don't. Okay, April. Perfect. Both of them are perfect for me. I don't have anything on my agenda, so I will rest my decision based on what you You decided. So I'm gonna take a little roll call, and you guys will tell me your dates, and then obviously majority will rule. Okay. Let me start with Mr. Juan. Juan.
Yeah, April 23rd is fine with me.
Okay, Juan. Perfect. Miss Sonia, Miss Urquiza.
My preference is April 23rd, but I'm available on the 30th also.
Thank you. Jesus.
Me?
Sorry,
okay.
Vice Chairman.
Either day works. 23rd, I think, would be the best option. It's mid-month. Not that it would interfere with Dia del Niño, since it is a different audience that we're trying to target, but 23rd will work.
Perfect. And Miss Laisha Garcia?
The 23rd is fine.
23rd. And also I'll move on with the 23rd. Agree with Vice Chairman. I don't have a preference, but I'd rather keep the Dia del Niño outside the scope. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Myself is missing. Unanimously is actually April 23rd. So that will be the date that as a commission we're agreeing in. Let's set this date. If it's not on stone, something similar to a stone, so it doesn't change. Okay, thank you very much. That was a relief now. Okay. So members, do you need more time to actually look at the essential duties for events of breakdown? Before we go there, we have one more little tiny thing to discuss is location. Do we want to actually keep it as we actually plan it over here? Or do we want to go to the Centennial? It is the staff advice to actually move to a smaller location, like the Centennial Park. My idea was to keep it here, but as we discussed last time, majority rules. So my first original idea was to have the Wine and Art Festival at the Centennial, because the way that I see the city of Somerton put in their recognition event for volunteers, it was beautiful. The tents, the microphone, the little music that was there. So it would not require huge template. It's small. And I was mentioning, remember at the very beginning of the discussion, if we get 200 people, I think Centennial Park can easily fit those 200. And the other positive thing is that you mentioned that maybe if it's needed, that little tiny block there, if the city can help us with closing that for parking or making things easier, that will be even better. So I will open then this discussion for location only. Right now, it's just location. Vision comes later. Location.
Commission Chair,
yes,
if I may add just a comment. I reviewed the numbers for traffic control. It's also lower. Considerable amount. It's only around $300 to close down that street by Centennial Park. And as I mentioned, I wouldn't overthink the parking parameter of it, because there's not a whole lot of parking here either. So, it's not that far. If the event grows, there's enough parking over there, and the dimensions are not highly different, but decorating wise, it's going to be a major complement for the event, that we're not going to have to invest time and funding for the decorating aspect of it and hanging of the art. We have more structures over there. So that's my main selling point for that one, because it's going to be difficult to decorate around the park and this street. It's very wide open, and we have minimal decoration for it besides City Hall, that it's highly visual.
Okay. So then I will propose two possibilities here. One will be the original plan that we had. The second one that you're recommending, the Centennial. So how do you feel, commissioners, if we just go into two possibilities, which is the Sanguinetti Park. Am I right? This park right here,
Sanguinetti, yes.
Sanguinetti, or the Centennial Park.
Yeah.
So based on those two, okay, to have our event done, so we don't expand too much into other possibilities like, indoors or someplace else. So let's keep it into two possibilities: the one that we originally had and the one that is being suggested. So in my own opinion, since I at the first time when I saw that park, I fall in love with, in the Christmas park. So kind of I'm leaning more towards there. Focus that it's going to be our first event, and we are not sure how much people is going to attend. So, and then, but that's so in my case, I'll go for the Centennial. But I would like to hear what Mr. Lopez again has to say. So if you have two choices, Mr. Lopez, Centennial or Sanguinetti right here, what will be your choice?
Which one is Centennial again?
Centennial is the one that the Somerton Tower, under the famous Somerton Tower.
Okay.
For
The Christmas,
station.
The
yes.
water tower. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, I think that area is pretty small.
Mhm.
So I would vote for here, Sanguinetti Park.
Oh, Sanguinetti. Okay, fair enough. Okay. And okay, moving on with Miss Moreno.
Based on, I haven't been to Centennial, but based on what I've heard and based on all the, difficulties that we've faced with making it happen, I would actually choose Centennial.
Centennial.
Yes.
And in my case, I will choose also Centennial, but we still have Vice Chair Cervantes. Sanguinetti or Centennial?
I'm indifferent. Either one will work. They both have pros and cons. If we go with Sanguinetti Park, there's no guarantee that we'll fill up the space with our vendors. But then again, one of our selling points, I believe we discussed, was we're not going to charge for spaces because it is a free event that is more of a grassroots, homegrown type of event. So we shouldn't be. I think we decided not to charge per booth. Centennial Park, of course, it's smaller venue. You can control it more. I guess I do have a question, and I don't know if it can be answered at this point by city staff, but it does go into the logistics side of the house. But our insurances and liabilities coverage, would that fall under the city or as a commission? And the only reason I ask is because there are hazards in both places. In case we were to have somebody that gets injured, fall, trip, I guess that's my question. But going back to the original item, either one will work. And the reason I bring up injury and liabilities coverage is Centennial Park does have a step system, which I believe the city's working on fixing. But aside from that, I guess we could go with Centennial Park.
Okay.
Not that the answer would change based on coverage or not, but that is something to consider as well. If we are covered under the city's blanket coverage, or the city or the commission would have to apply for a temporary coverage permit.
Would have to confirm that, but most likely, since it's a city co-sponsored event at a city venue.
But yeah, I guess a Centennial Park will work.
Perfect. And finally, Ms. Garcia, Commissioner Garcia, Centennial or Sanguinetti?
Centennial, budget-wise and being our first event, I definitely agree with Centennial.
Okay, perfect. So now, Mr. Mesa, just in case if they ask you, our direction so far is to have the event on April 23rd. And then where? At the Centennial Park. Okay. So the one that is kind of a fussy is our vision. Okay, I think we kind of agree that the event should be affordable to the local residents. That's why we were discussing the minimal fee to the vendors and also an event in which it will include kids, some kinds of activities to include family. We were saying that perhaps some drawing events for young adolescents and drawing events for adults, so everyone has a welcoming area there. So with that, then this is between the family, and there will be a wine of wine and alcohol available because it's a wine event. The question is, Centennial is small, and that makes things easier. Just in case if we don't have enough artists actually showing up, but I believe if we just invite like the local schools, that place will be actually, because there is like 6 schools. I mean, five primary schools, 1 middle school, just to say. Then there's still AWC program. I mean, help me with the vision. So I'm gonna start with the question here is, how do you see, Mr. Lopez, this event? If you're like coming, you just write, why should I do this Saturday? What will you expect to see from this event?
Okay. First of all, I already had a lady approach me that she wants to get her spot or her space, and she sells. She makes her own jewelry, and I thought that was pretty cool. You know what? I guess she's looking forward to it. She's just waiting for a date and everything. Honestly, it looks like with the area and even Miss Sonia here with her class going to be there, and then I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be real good, plenty of people, I think.
Okay, thank you very much. Ms. Moreno, what is your vision? What will you expect to see from this event?
I would expect a relaxed environment for family. I would expect to hear music. I would expect to see a diversity of artists like exhibiting, like having their booths. And I would expect food, to be able to buy some food.
Food, there you go. Okay. And by share, I guess Ms. Moreno put in a very eloquent words. Her vision is small, relaxed, with music that is actually relaxing, diversity and food. So, what is your vision, Mr. Cervantes, Vice Cervantes?
It doesn't differ from what the other commission members have already stated. I mean, the vision from my perspective is a community event that is open to everybody. There is no feeling that you have to be an elite community member or that you are leading by last name to be at these events, that anyone can attend. You know, you live in Somerton, you can go and enjoy some art, some wine, maybe some complimentary pairings. And it's a family event. It's a safe, small, comfortable event. And I think as the event grows, we could also use proceeds that are raised during the event, this one included, of course, to better our cultural center and our Parks and Rec program, so that residents do see the tangibles associated with events like this. Because I think that's sometimes lost in the mix with a lot of the events that are held locally, is where is the money going to? And in this case, I think if we can display or actually reinvest those funds that are made during these events back into the programs, specifically in this case, the cultural center for upgrades to, I think we've discussed it in the past, to display local art, whether it be from schools, local artists, so that they do have a venue to really shine. Because, you know, Somerton does have a large population that sometimes is overshadowed by the bigger cities and their events. City of Yuma just had their art in the park event. City of San Luis is also very active with their art and community engagement items of that sort or of the same caliber. So that's what I'd like to see of this event as it grows more and more, that we are able to reinvest those monies that are collected back into areas that the community does see that reinvestment in. So kind of, I guess, equating it to back in the old school days where they would have community events to raise money to replace the town hall or church roof, kind of going back to that community pride and community reinvestment. So,
yeah, because I totally agree with you. My grandma used to say, if you want to fix something, be part of the solution. So in this case, yeah, I totally agree that we need to reinvest in our, in the cultural center. So your vision for the better of our community, to help actually the cultural center reinvest to hopefully make some upgrades at the cultural center, and also start utilizing more the cultural center for future displays of local artists. In a nutshell, thank you, Commissioner Garcia. What is your vision? What we like to?
It's the same as how we had talked about in previous meetings. And well, just like Ms. Moreno had said, I envision pretty much the same thing.
Okay, so then we agree that our event will be, we're not going to be a grandiose event with lots of that. So small, relaxed, with diversity on it, different artists, different music, with food and some compliments for those who are tasting the wine, obviously. In our small kind of in the back of our minds, the cultural center, how can we make that place better for the good of the community? And I think that fits perfectly into the purpose of existence as a commission, to help to actually reinvest back into our community, to actually be that arm. So I don't know if that helps you to your staff, but yeah, it will be a small event. Okay, and then I think Centennial Park will be perfect for that type of. We want something that the families feel relaxed. And I noticed I had the chance to attend the art at the park at the wetlands area. I noticed that they did have actually lots of games that very easy to afford. Those little tiny games in which they throw those sandbags into a little hole and things like that. There were prizes for the kids, and so kids kind of are walking to a rotation like this and playing, trying to gain those prizes. But little tiny things, they were just like tokens of appreciation of the vendors themselves when they were doing this thing. So maybe for our families, so since there will be kids here, probably we can actually include something like that, a little area in which the kids can just relax while the parents are buying or enjoying the wine and the music. Something to think about it, to make it more attractive. They actually were very successful in that, keeping those tables that you draw holes in it, and then from a distance you try to make the sandbag into the holes there. So it was a fun activity. And the music, if the music wasn't that very loud, and it was just one group, since it was an event that people were coming and going, it's not. And that actually make me think a little bit on our vision here. So we don't need to have a lot of artists, but if we have a group that is willing to say, just relax music, not very loud, the wine, it creates the atmosphere for, enjoying the displays, the arts. It's like a revolving door, people coming in and out. As long as they enjoy the exhibition and they consume a little bit through the vendors, then it will be a successful event. So to have a vision is to support an event that will actually help us the families to have a weekend that it will be relaxed, small. I hope we have diversity. We'll look for that with food. We have vendors. And if we achieve our goals, hopefully the cultural center will benefit from that activity. Before I move on, anything else that we'd like to add to our vision? How do we want to see this event? So, Mr. Lopez, anything else that you'd like to add? No. Ms. Moreno.
I want to make sure that artists are invited. Like
Artists.
this lady that won, I'm sorry, last name, Mr. Lopez said, who makes jewelry, or there's painters, there's people who do art in the community. Invite them so that they can show their work.
So they can display. So yeah, well, actually on the little layout that we had originally, we have the vendors and also possibility for display. So two different things. So yeah, that would be great. Yeah. So I guess this fit on the diversity. Okay, diversity of different artists. So if they make things with their hands. So like in the 85350 last year when they did the little art, they display their art on the back. They were consuming inside, and how they recycle clothing and things like that. For me, it was interesting, and then to see those big display of Alcatraz, or what is it, alebrijes or the alebrije. That was great. I would like to invite that artist to help us with this event. So definitely. Anything else for the vision, Mr. Vice Chairman?
Not as an addition. No, I think the vision has been solidified at this point. Just a comment. It's more of a recommendation, not a recommendation, but a point. Is that this event is dual purpose as well. I know the city's still working on trying to get some of the arts programs off the ground, music, arts programs off the ground. This may be an excellent opportunity to, if we do have some classes already in play by that point, to highlight those at the event, even do on-site registration, because you may have a certain population that does not follow social media, does not go to the website, that may be unaware that we have these other programs within the city. And I know we have a lot of new residents that keep moving into town almost on a monthly basis. We may be able to reach that audience as well. So something like that may also benefit not only the event, but also our city programs to hopefully increase some of those numbers. And like I said, on-site registration would probably be an awesome solution to have. And I know there's some tech involved. If assistance is required, I could always pitch in. But that's one thing I think we can also highlight during the event. Even if it does require commission staff to volunteer the booth, as long as we had some informational items to present, like this is what we offer as far as additional programs. This is what we do as far as like open rec days and things of that sort, so that it gets that information out during a live event. And based on data as well from other items, it also spurs that conversation between the community and, of course, Parks and Rec staff. I know sometimes that comes up as a sore talking point, that not a whole lot of communication occurs between residents and the city, and we want to assist in kind of mending that bridge. And I think this will be one of those items that'll really, really help. So like I said, no recommendations for additions to the vision. It's just a note that I wanted to make.
And this is a good point taken, because yes, that'll be a great opportunity to actually help you. I mean, has been our discussion for at least the last 2 years since you've been here, to start an art program through the city, having an art teacher or, anything that has to do with art. So it will be great to have a booth which either one of us or a staff can actually proudly mention what the goals, we would like to start this program or that program. So that will be the perfect venue to launch those kind of programs that you have in mind.
Yeah.
Okay, it's to sell ourselves basically. That's great. Miss Commissioner Garcia, anything else for the vision? I think it looks very, very, very squarish now. Anything else?
I don't have anything to add.
Okay. So now what actually for the vision and if someone has extremely good writing skills, probably we can get these little notes that I'm actually making, and then if we can put a little paragraph of our vision for the event, and we can include a little paragraph in all the little piece of info that goes out, like for example, to our vendors, to our artists that they're gonna receive an invitation, so they know that we do have a vision in which is gonna be number one, we want to help our city. Okay, we want to actually we want to have a small, relaxed event in which people will be able to hear music. There will be diversity in the art forms, different forms of art, et cetera, et cetera. But that will be now a little bit more into someone that has those beautiful writing skills to put the vision together, okay, based on what we discussed. Okay, so now we have the date, we have the place, and we have this division. Next, okay, now let's move on to the essential duties for events breakdown, the moment of truth. Last time we were discussing this, that we need to support each other. So this is the time that I need the volunteers. In my experience with the commission for the last 2 years has been that volunteers make a big difference in the success of the programs. 4th of July, thanks to the volunteers that the commissioners and guests that we had there as volunteers, they help us raise good money. Then in other events, when Los Muecas were here, again, thanks to you guys and other volunteers, okay, we were able, with the help of the city staff, we were able to raise again good funding. So this event will not be just only the responsibility of the city. Obviously, they play a major role here. Don't take me wrong. As we set the vision and you guys make the clay and the model, but we need to make this together. Okay, definitely, I totally agree with it. You actually, I like the concept that you're presenting to us in essential duties like marketing and outreach. Can you actually, marketing and outreach, you say 3, is that 3 people, or like 2 parks rec plus 2 others? Can you clarify a little bit into this, please, Mr. Mesa?
I would suggest 3 people, 2 or 3 people are dedicated to that. 2 aside from the department, considering there's going to be a lot of outreach. Maybe there's going to be a few events to attend. Pass out some flyers, the whistleblowing efforts going around the community. So that takes some time. It's very time consuming. So that's why at least 2 staff members, you could say event staff, are suggested for that endeavor. 1 or 2 aside from the department.
Okay, 1 or 2 more. Okay. Definitely. Okay. Then any questions for marketing and outreach?
I want to say that I would like to volunteer to. I have no experience. I don't know exactly what all the things that have to be done are, but I think that I could volunteer to work with marketing and outreach. Like if it is going to different places and leaving flyers,
I see.
something like that.
Is that what you have in mind, Mr. Mesa? Or?
Yes, on the social media side and all that, we would be taken care of from our side. Yeah, but that's basically it. And I mean, using Mrs. Urquiza's platform as a teacher in the school district, I think it's a good option.
Yeah, and if we, need to go to other places in the community, businesses, I don't know, other places I could do that.
Yes.
Mr. Vice Chair?
I'd like to also volunteer for marketing and outreach, specifically on the digital and tech side. I do have a almost unlimited resources that I could assist with that.
Thank you, Mr. Cervantes. So also, if in any way I can help with marketing outreach, because the way that I see it, and going back to the concept of waving, imagine like we're like little spiders and we're creating waves, and what you bring to the table is always a little positive addition for the overall scheme of the ideas here. So I will put myself here. I know we need a lot of help into everything. Vendors oversee recruitment, communication, and layout for event vendors. You have a very nice list of possible vendors that the city has actually worked before. How can we support there? What do you mean by two staff or two volunteers, or?
I would say two commissioners would be ideal.
To help you contact vendors, or?
Yeah, basically take care of the vendors side of it. Just contact possible vendors, recruitment, take care of the paperwork, and just keep track of the list. We do have a list that typically used, but I mean, it doesn't have to go by the city list, you could say. There's other vendors that could be part of it, especially they're, you could say, sort of related or they coop well with the event concept and all that.
So, for example, can we may contact prior vendors that have actually worked with the city? Am I right? You have
prior vendors or any new vendors, as long as they have a permit, the health department clearance card and all that.
Ms. Garcia, you want to say that? Exactly. So, okay, yeah. So, no, it's just that there's a suggestion right here. Yeah,
it's just
Moreno Cervantes for the first one, for vendors too, but I just wanted a little clarification. So, anyone?
I would volunteer for that.
Okay. Okay, let me go for. Thank you, Mr. Lopez. Okay.
I'd like to add something to that.
Yes.
I believe Ms. Ezra was already doing something with that. I have like no experience with that part either. So I'm interested in learning. So I can support her or can support Mr. Lopez.
I wonder if Ms. Joanna Ezra is here, but yeah, definitely she wanted to be part of this and the vendors and as well as the recruitment of artists. Okay, I'm gonna leave this open. So just in case, gonna keep on the marketing and outreach Moreno Cervantes. Then I'm gonna be like more. I will try to be more available since this is also our priority right now, and let's make it so if it needs help, I can also volunteer on the vendors. Definitely, I do have a little experience since I've been able to do activities that have raised
just
for
to comment
nonprofits too.
on the vendors. I believe we did mention we're going to have a minimal fee, symbolic fee.
Yes, I believe we mentioned 25
or 25.
Yes.
I don't know. We can discuss that at a later time. Just want to bring it up. That was a previous, I believe, recommendation.
Yeah. I think we made a motion because the price was since it's gonna be we decided that $25 was going to be like more into just symbolic rather than a charge, but nevertheless it's 25.
Not for artists. Just
no.
Just for the booth.
Only for
because they can sell. They have arts
Yeah.
and crafts. They can sell their products and all that.
Yeah, only for vendors that food
or
other stuff. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you, Mr. Lopez. But feel free to jump into other activities. I think I have something. You're looking at something here. So, Ms. Garcia. What will be your involvement in this event? Sponsorship, administrative, catering, logistic, volunteers, recruitment of artists, or
The event program / entertainment.
entertainment?
Mhm.
Perfect. So, okay, so there's basically like the scheduling, who goes first. That's even, thank you, because that takes a lot of time. Okay, creating like a little brochure, what to expect. Okay. And okay, so along with the staff, you can actually work with them and have this beautiful line of events. Okay. Sponsorship funds. Definitely one person that wanted to be there is Miss Ezra. So I'm gonna assume that she wanted to be there. And this one, sponsorship funds. Administrative, oversee and follow up in all administrative matters like forms, promotional materials, and event clerical duties. One. Okay, so that's basically a staff and one of us. Am I right, Mr. Mesa?
Or
For the administrative.
yeah, I mean on the administrative side, yeah, one would be helpful. Just with any extracurricular work, but it's mainly going to be taken care of from the department since we're in constant communication with the graphic designer and things of that nature.
And I can.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think that, I don't know, but I think Ms. Garcia, you will be perfect if you are in the program entertainment, since you're going to be helping plan and organize. Would you like to also help us with the promotion materials and event clerical things like that? I don't know if it's too much to ask. What do you think?
Say that again.
Oh, for the administrative. Would you like to volunteer?
Yeah.
Okay, is that a yes?
Yes.
Perfect, perfect. Decoration, catering, okay, definitely it says one, but
Also, if I may add on that one, the wine.
the what?
Seeking any venture related to the wine.
Uh-huh.
I mean, coordinating with the city staff for the permit but mainly acquiring.
Yeah, definitely. I would like to,
Yeah.
please, they're not gonna write my name right there. Definitely. Okay. Since I do have now a little bit of experience, it will be my third license. So far, the last two, no incidents. So let's keep this one also without anything. And thanks to the, let's keep my angels protecting me wherever they are. Logistics, review layout, traffic control matters, and overall logistics. This is more the staff, Parks and Recs, two plus another staff. So can you clarify a little bit on, I understand this, but Parks and Recs department plus another staff.
Basically revolves around the event layout, the setup, the traffic control, making sure everything's in order and that there's flow throughout the event. And the setup, of course, is mainly going to be taken care of by staff for the event. Of course, if we have volunteers, and it would help, but if not, I mean, staff's going to be taking care of the heavy lifting, you could say.
Okay.
I'll volunteer for logistics. It's basically logistics and compliance. But yeah, I'll volunteer for the logistics side to work with city staff to make sure that we are in compliance with permitting and make sure that the day of the event, everything is where it should be. So I'll jump into it. We'll run it like a project.
I would like to actually also help with the volunteers, okay, to keep track of, because for me, without them, we're not very successful. So we need to keep track of, okay, and I do have some people say, hey, whenever you need me, I'm available. So, yeah. So I'm going to write my name on volunteers unless,
Yeah, I would like to help out again on logistics.
on logistics.
I think it has to do with vendors too, somewhere around there. So I'll be running around checking.
Okay, so he says two. Okay, thank you, Mr. Lopez. Okay. And recruitment of artists. I don't know.
I know
What do you
no
think?
artist. No.
You're not.
I think I heard Ms. Esro also. She had already talked to some.
Oh, yeah. Actually, she did contact. I was.
I have a feeling she has like more contacts than I do. Honestly, I can support, but I have basically like very little contacts.
Okay. Yeah. Miss Esro, actually, she contacted. She was really excited on the first, making.
I can support.
So, yeah. Okay. So I will give you a copy of this, and that actually, I hope now together we can have this event taking place, and let's make this flight a successful flight. Okay. Anything else that you need from our side?
Right now, I mean, the next step would be just defining what the pending commissioners that were not able to be present, they're going to be assisting with. And after that, I would say just working on the timeline together. So we have some goals and objectives and can see a timeline.
So probably we can have a work session to actually set up the time guidelines that we, and yes, okay, perfect. So that will be for another discussion. So we don't actually, right now, what time is it? 6:53, but we're almost done here. Okay, so I'm very satisfied where we actually are, that we are at this point. And it seems like your staff also will be happy with it now that we have a better vision, the commitment from the commissioners, the date specific, okay, everything. So I want to say I do have a headache at this moment, but it's a good headache. I'm physically tired, but mentally I'm satisfied with the results.
Yeah, just want to mention on the catering and decor and wine, it's also would be recommended to look for some breweries too, like Yuma Prison Hill and all those, since there is going to be beer involved too. Those would be good additions to the event. Not only the wine, but breweries supporting local businesses and all that, especially if they're locals or from this region. That would be, I think it's going to add a good complement the event.
Yeah, I remember that on the 4th of July, and then since we've been actually utilizing the same vendor for the beer, so it will be great. He knows the process and everything, and he was even suggesting to me some wines and spirits that they deal with it. So they do have the experience in this type of events to help it actually to make it much doable process.
Yes. Yeah, and then I know that's going to attract some folks to the event. We'll look at the particulars later in terms of any regulations, if they're going to be doing some sampling. So it would be more on the sampling side than actually selling. But some breweries might be interesting, and it's a good opportunity here in Somerton. Since it's a first event that we do something like that in recent time.
Okay, then yes, go for it.
I just want to say that I would prefer to start as soon as possible, doing my part. So I'll be available, and I'll call the Parks and Rec phone number, or I don't know if I should call Mr. Mesa.
Yeah,
so that I know when is the earliest that I can start. And so I don't know if it's going to be 1 week or whenever you guys are ready.
Sure. About a week should be fine. Get the whole paperwork ready, updated and all that.
All right.
And the good thing is, Mr. Mesa, is that at this point, we already have something tangible. We have even our paper, the format that we're going to be including, the same, the purple, nice. Your staff did a wonderful job with the art. I don't know, it's called the graphics and design department. They don't need to reinvent the wheel. It's already there. So just the dates and add a little bit of vision there, and that should do it. Okay, before I move on into the next item, I will, in item 7.1, I would like to include a possible date for our next work session. And the reason for the work session, let's keep in mind only one thing on that work session, if possible, is actually let's set up deadlines. Okay, so to actually get from point A to point B, definitely we need that direction. So again, commissioners, if you want to check your calendars and tell me what works better for you in the matters of having because that is to the January, February, March, we're only 3 months behind, and probably 2 more work sessions, and that's it. Mm-hmm. Time flies. Mm-hmm. Okay. Next Wednesdays, I mean, for me, any Wednesday is okay. Just okay. We have available the 26th of January, which is next Wednesday. So now, in matters of the staff, seems like Wednesdays they seem to be available to you. Am I right?
Yes,
so we can coordinate the same day.
Yeah.
Do you have your calendar so you can check and to see if that works for you? And since we're not going to be making any motions and nothing, we're gonna be posting the board meeting for the purpose of setting up a deadlines for the event. So then we have available the 2nd, February the 2nd, the 9th, and the 9th before our next Parks and Recs Recreation Commission special meeting will be on the 16th, which is the 3rd Wednesday. So that only give us 3 available possible dates: the 9th, the 2nd, and the 26th. So out of those 3, which ones will be then for your convenience?
Could you clarify the February 9th and February 2nd or January 26th? Or
that is correct. Yes, those are the 3 dates.
Okay.
Okay. So again, possible for the work session, possible dates will be the 26th, which is January. And then the next one is actually the 2nd, February the 2nd. And finally, February the 9th. Because on the next Wednesday, we already have our normal commission meeting. Okay.
In my opinion, I think we should fast track it. I believe we should meet next week. That's from my perspective. If scheduling allows, I think a week is more than enough time for each team to meet with their respective city counterparts to start building out the plan that they are responsible for. Mm-hmm. And I know that you touched on the work session meeting to have the timeline discussion, mm-hmm. but I think we should also have a quick briefing as to where we are at with each of the different teams. Like, for example, marketing and outreach could be a quick update. It's like, yes, we have met and we are upgrading the flyers with the new date and time. Mm-hmm. For next meeting, we hope to have item XYZ presented to the work session and go down the list so that we have at least that momentum that is still in play. Mm-hmm. And it also puts pressure on those responsible parties to get stuff done because time is not on our side. It is counting down. Mm-hmm. If preferably we do the heavy lifting immediately, mm-hmm. and then work on the minor details as we get closer to the event. So kind of turning the triangle around, do the heavy lifting first, and then worry about the smaller items as we get closer to the event. At least that's my recommendation if the schedule does allow for all the commission members to, mm-hmm. and resources, of course, if they are available.
So you're suggesting to choose between the February the 2nd or the 9th, am I right?
No.
Preferably next week, the 26th, if the schedule allows. But if not, we could do the 2nd. If we do the 2nd, then my expectation would be that the teams have a detailed presentation as to where they're at, any accomplishments and milestones that they've identified, because that'll also help us create our main project timeline, where we can set those milestones that by this date, we should have the marketing items already pre-staged, completed, vendors already been contacted, waiting on feedback, and so on, so that once again, we don't lose the momentum that we currently have. And
perfect.
It does add those responsibilities as a priority to the different groups.
Then, just go ahead.
Oh, I just have a comment related to that. Like, I think next week, the 26th, really should be the date, but that's up to the commission. But so it's important before we can give any kind of report is to just meet the people we're going to be working with at the Parks and Rec.
The staff.
With the staff. And so that, they have their own timeline there. So that's why I ask, I want to start as soon as possible. So who do I talk to know what I'm going to be doing and when's the earliest? So I'm thinking, what are we going to do next week when we meet? Exactly, because now it's time for action. Like, if we're going to be calling vendors, like you have to be on the phone calling vendors. So what is the purpose for the next meeting? Exactly.
The next work session is to actually establish a calendar of events that need to happen to get us to the April the 23rd. Okay, so basically, and I think Mr. Mesa brought a good point here. So it will be very wise to actually meet with the staff, okay, with our counterparts, and then report back during that work session. So my suggestion is if we can actually during this time and perhaps the next week, if you can contact the 26th during this time this week, for you guys to make contact with your respective staff members, okay? And then if we can meet on the 2nd, that will be the next available week to say, hey, I met with such and such, and this is what we're planning to. Because if we meet exactly next Wednesday, that give us tomorrow and Friday, and then Monday and Tuesday, and that's not a lot of time. So your point is well taken. So my advice is this time, just try to contact. In my case, I would like to set up like with staff in matters of volunteers, what do we need? What is the paperwork? So when I meet with you guys, I can report this is what I did. And especially with catering and, for the wine and the decor, definitely to meet with either Mr. Mesa and go through different ideas. So I will suggest this either the 2nd rather than the 9th. The 9th, I think, is too late, and we may lose a little bit of momentum. And hopefully we can get involved. We can involve the other two members, with the essential duties and events. So I will try to contact them. I will try to contact Mr. Molina and confirm with Joanna, with Ms. Esro for this, and then hopefully we can meet on so my suggestion is based on that on the 2nd or the 9th.
I have a question for Mr. Mesa. Mr. Mesa, what do you recommend? Because we're going to be working with your department. So for us to have, some information and know, what we're going to be doing.
And no cancellations.
So what do you recommend when we meet next, but so that we have time to meet with the people we're going to be working with from the department and to have something ready to present in 2 weeks?
Yeah, I believe next week would be fine because we don't have to have like a very elaborate presentations, just updates, just to get this going because it's gonna get to us pretty soon, and the sooner the better. Right now that we have fresh in our minds, and it doesn't have to be something highly structured like I mentioned. It's just to get it going.
Mr. Mesa,
kick it off.
I'm sorry, but my question is, I'd like to know the name of the person that I'm going to be working with. So I think that just having that, it's
Yeah.
it's at the start where we know, okay, so I'm going to be meeting with this person, make contact, and we can go from there. But when can that happen is my question, because I don't know if they're so busy that, they're not available this whole week, or is it just a call and say, yeah, this is my name, I'm going to be working with you. And I don't know if we can just have like a short conversation about, this is basically what you're going to be doing here. And so that we have like a more solid idea, objective
Yeah.
of.
I think that we can make it happen, and it doesn't have to be anything overly formal. It could be like a Zoom call, different methods, just to make it more convenient on the staff, on the commissioners. So either or can work. Visit our office, we can coordinate an hour, or just a quick Zoom meeting, just to get things going. I would suggest next week.
All right.
Because it's already the 19th, and before we know it, it's going to be March.
Okay, so you're suggesting that for the work session, we can meet on the 26th, am I right?
Yes, and if this facility is not available for that meeting, we can meet at the youth center or the main Parks and Rec office. It doesn't have to be here.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So I don't have a problem. It's just that I would like to contact my counterpart in matters of volunteers. What has been done in the past, so we don't reinvent the wheel, and in matters actually, contacting the catering. So that gives me tomorrow, and then Friday, Monday, and Tuesday. So in my case, yes, it can be done. So then we have three possibilities for our next work session: is the 26th, the 2nd, or the 9th. And based on that, at this moment, Ms. Ezra, we're discussing our next work session. I'll give you a little debriefing of what we have discussed. You right now has been very productive. Look at my face. Yay. Okay, we have a big smile here, and we agree to disagree, but now we are agreeing to agree. Yay. So I have 3 dates on the table. And those 3 dates are January 26th, February the 2nd, February the 9th. Okay, the reason for those 3 dates is because we want to continue with this momentum. And as and we agree that time is not so much in our favor. So the faster that we move, the better the event. So let me start with.
Date for the event.
Oh, the date of the event, we actually decided
April 23rd.
April 23rd.
April 23rd.
Okay. And so very quickly, the date of the event will be April 23rd, and the place will be Centennial Park. The vision is going to be a small, relaxed music diversity to support our cultural center, reinvest in upgrades if it's possible, involve our community members, and welcome them, and also have a variety of artists in our event. Support the city art program because it's needed there. So in other words, maybe later on, we're gonna actually write this as a little vision and with better words and everything. So it will go in the documents that we're gonna be actually passing forward. So there's a little vision there. So yeah. that was, and now we're discussing the next, before I close this, our next work session. And the purpose of the work session basically will be just one, is to set up kind of dates from February, whenever we decided, okay, to April 23rd. What will be the dates that we need to have in mind?
Like a timeline.
Like a timeline. Okay. So the possible dates that are in front of us are January next week, the 26th, February the 2nd, or February the 9th. And I would like to start with Ms. Ezra. Out of those 3, what's your preference?
I would say January 26th.
The 26th. Week. Perfect. And Mr. Mr. Lopez.
January 26th is fine with me.
January 26th. And Commissioner Urquizo, I'm sorry.
January 26th.
And myself, January 26th. And Vice Chair Cervantes.
The 26th will work. And real quick, as long as we everyone meets with their counterpart, that should be fine. My recommendation would be that after this meeting and as time allows, that a contact list be sent out that breaks out the different teams, that has the commission members and the associated city counterpart. Because one thing I want to mention is we should not wait to reach out to them. Communication should start essentially tomorrow to establish that rapport and discuss items that you guys are responsible for, so that it doesn't get delayed anywhere and there is no, all resources are not available, whether it be from our side or city or any of our outreach partners. So, but going back to 26 will work for me.
So we have 4 working days starting tomorrow to actually either the staff gets in contact with us or we get in contact with them. But there will be some form of communication. Okay. Okay, that's a very well point. And Commissioner Garcia, the 26th.
Yeah,
Perfect. Okay, so then we have for our next, we do have a work session, and that will take place on January 26th. Place to be discussed later because we're not sure if there is something else here, but we're gonna meet somewhere. It's either here or at the other possible sites that Mr. Mesa discussed. Okay. Thank you very much. So I'm happy with the results now. It was very productive, and it seems like we're gonna have the Wine and Arts event happening on April 23rd. Okay, I would like to move to new business. In by our city, by our ordinance and by our bylaws. Okay, every year we need to elect. We need to discuss and possible action for elections for the Somerton Parks and Recreation Commission to appoint a new chairman, vice chairman, and secretary. Okay, in this case. I would like to finish the project that we have at our doors. So I would like to continue with the chairmanship for this year. And for that, well, I would like to hear if there's anybody else that would like to be considered for chairman of the commission.
Mr. Chairman, you'll have to open the floor for nominations. Just for what's it called, for bylaw purposes.
Okay.
As long as you state that you're opening the floor for nominations, individuals can self-nominate as well, or you can nominate another individual. So, and we conduct them via blind vote. So that there are no hard feelings that occur. So once we have the nominations on floor, we don't have any scrap pieces of paper, or we can tear something up, but then we can cast our votes, and then
perfect.
We can proceed. Order does not matter. You can proceed with the chairman, vice chairman, secretary, or vice chairman, chairman, secretary. It is at your discretion, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you very much. And I needed that little advice. So I would like to open then this for nominations. And I used to have a little tiny pieces of paper. So
There's paper there. I'll just grab
let me get some paper available to you and pair of scissors. Okay. So it's basically you can appoint yourself, so you can nominate somebody else for the chairman, vice chairman, and secretary. And it shouldn't actually be this long. Thank you. It's empty.
You already have it?
No, but to drop it. Yeah. So 1, 2.
How many paper do we need?
Pues, we're gonna need multiple.
Perfect.
6 or
Okay.
you can cut up your piece in
Yes.
3 if
Yeah.
you need to, or can we write the 3
Yeah.
names on one piece of paper?
Let's go out. Let's start for for the chairman, and then 1 for the vice chairman, and then finally 1 for the secretary.
3.
So
I
three.
can
3 different papers. So first,
no, that's
3 pieces.
no, but we don't have
Enough.
You can just cut that up
Correct.
into three
Mhm.
pieces.
So we'll take this
Cut it up
For the
into
three
three
different
pieces.
ones.
into three.
So,
Cut them up into three
yeah.
pieces.
So, thank you.
Así. I'm modeling. I'm a good teacher, mira.
Thank you.
Okay,
Okay,
three pieces.
three pieces,
And
not
then-
4, 3. Okay.
Like
let's
so.
see. Oh, I know how to do it.
Yeah, three pieces.
Okay, at this moment that you are done cutting your pieces of paper, like I love democracy.
So now we
Then,
nominate.
yeah,
and then we vote.
you can actually write who you want to be your next.
No, first we nominate and then we vote, right?
Mhm, okay.
That is correct. So in this case, like I myself nominate Mr. Vasquez for chairman.
Okay.
And if anybody else would like to nominate another individual or themselves, they can also make that nomination. So the floor is open for the position of chairman. At this point, we have one nomination for Mr. Vasquez, and it is open for everyone else to nominate themselves or nominate another body.
Mhm.
Okay. Thank you, and please cast your votes.
We have
there's
to
to have-
nominate the rest, right?
Yeah, first let's go for Sherman. Okay, but then it's.
Okay.
And you make if Mr. Chairman, if you'd like, I can handle the
Yeah,
administrative portion of
thank
it.
you.
So we do have the floor is open for nominations. Currently, we have one nomination for Francisco Vasquez to continue as chairman. I do call on the commission for any other nominations at this point. And this is for the position of chairman for the commission to serve from immediately starting as of tonight to our last commission meeting, actually to January of 2023. Okay, seeing no other nominations, nominations are closed for commission chair. Please go ahead and cast your votes. It is a blind vote. Once you,
Is it anonymous? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
yes, it is a blind vote. Once you enter your candidate, place it in the box, and Mr. Mesa will tally the amount and then identify the new commission seat.
Mhm.
In this case, as there is a single nomination, by de facto, Mr. Vasquez basically takes the vote.
Thank you.
So
there's no reason for that, right?
so there'd be no reason to count it
Yeah.
since it was only one nomination. So technically, you can throw those in the trash. That sounded horrible, but
Okay, thank you.
So now the next portion will be opening the floor for nominations for a commission vice chair. At this point, if any commission member would like to nominate another individual or themselves, it is open at this time.
Okay.
Nobody want to become chair? Vice chair?
One question, Mr. Jesus Cervantes, are you interested in continuing with that position as vice chair?
Oh, then yes. So we do have a self-nomination for vice chair at this point, Ms. Sonia Urquiza. Are there any other?
I'm just clarifying because
Oh.
I'm just clarifying because you didn't state whether you're willing to continue. You didn't
At this point, I do not self-nominate. Unfortunately, I do not know how long I will continue with the commission. I may have other community projects that may cause a conflict of interest with the city. So I do not want to leave the commission in a bad place without a secondary leadership body. So I do recuse myself from being nominated for vice chair, but the nomination still stands, or the open floor still stands for anybody that wants to nominate themselves or any commission member.
Okay.
And it is a great opportunity for leadership building and skills.
Okay.
I guess I'll take a blind shot. I nominate Commissioner Israel for vice chair. And the floor is still open for additional nomination as well. And like I said, you can nominate yourself. There is nothing that states you cannot say, I would like to
So it makes a lot of sense being the chairman. So in this case, I can take over. Anybody else have a different nomination for vice chairman or chairwoman? Garcia? Nothing yet?
And don't be shy, people. It's everyone
worry.
eventually at some point will have to serve as either chairman,
Yeah,
vice chair, or secretary.
So we're trying to make this as clear as possible in front of the cameras. So, okay. If I don't hear no more nominations, then I guess we have to apply the same rule of what is it? So facto. Okay. Or we like. Yeah. But let me close the floor for nominations of vice chair. Okay. And I only heard one nomination for Miss Joanna Esrog. And I didn't ask Miss Joanna Esrog if she's willing to accept that nomination. So
I am willing to accept it, of course. This will be my 5th year serving. And so I think I would value that position. Absolutely. Thank you for the nomination.
thank you. So in this case, since there is only one nominate, then we do have a new vice chair. Okay. Congratulations, Ms. Ezra. But we still have one more, a very important role, because that person will help us get us also to the right direction with. So the next one that we need to elect is for secretary. Okay, the role of the secretary sometimes is important because he can serve as helping us communicate with the staff, with ourselves, and that's what it makes. Okay, so I would like to open the floor for nominations, and okay, and let's take it from there for secretary.
I'll nominate myself.
Okay, thank you. Okay,
And I nominate Sonia.
okay, okay. Since I hear two, then
I'm sorry, but I as of right now, I can't say yes.
Okay.
Thank you for the nomination. But yes.
okay, so you decline the nomination. Okay, anybody else? Then not hearing any other nominations, then I guess then Ms. Garcia will be our next secretary for the term 2022. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Very welcome. That closes. Okay. Okay. Okay, and let me verify the results by announcing the executive board. So Francisco Vasquez, commission chair. Joanna Esro, vice chair, and Laisha Garcia, secretary.
Cool. Congratulations to the new elected commission executive staff. Hopefully everyone grows into the positions and eventually grows into higher positions within the commission as well. I know I didn't have a choice when I first joined. It was just by de facto, it was like, you are now the new chairman. So it is awesome that we have elections now. But congratulations to the three of you. I know we are in good hands with the leadership that we have. So I just wanted to throw that out there as a quick note.
Thank you very much. And also as a chairman, I want to say thank you very much for making the first year an easier transition for me. As a chairman, it definitely has been a learning experience, but I'm glad that I'm actually with the best. And I noticed that all of us, we share the same vision to help our community. And we don't expect to get paid. We're volunteers, but we're happy to do what we do for the good of the community. So thank you, Mr. Jesus Cervantes, for being there when I need you, and I hope you stay at least like 3 or 4 more years in the commission. Okay, thank you. Okay. One of the items that, since I didn't submit the minutes for the last meeting, I would like to table item number 8.2. Okay, until we have we have approved the prior minutes for the other meetings. So with that, then we're gonna revisit this issue, okay, at a later time. Okay. So at this moment, I will open the floor for future agenda items. Okay, and let me start with our new secretary, Ms. Garcia. Anything for our next regular agenda that you would like to see there?
No, I think we should just focus on the work session that we have next. I don't have any other items to.
Okay, so
add.
Perfect. Thank you. No items. Okay, and Commissioner member, Mr. Cervantes.
No items at this time.
Thank you very much. I only have one item, the arts and wine event. We need to continue, and that's basically it from my side. Commissioner member Urquiza.
No items.
Thank you. And Commissioner member Mr. Lopez.
No items at this moment.
Thank you. And Vice Chair Ezra. Any items for the agenda?
No additional items at this moment, just the wine event.
Thank you very much. Now, Mr. Mesa, I'm pretty sure you have some items that you would like to add for future items in the agenda, or am I correct?
Not at the moment. Just want to mention
Okay.
that we are working together with Commissioner Juan Lopez next week for the baseball clinics. They're open. It's going to be an open invitation for free at Joe Munoz Park next Saturday. It's January 20. What is it?
29,
29. What are the hours?
9 in the morning to 1 in the afternoon.
So yeah, I mean, you'll be able to spread the word, and you had kids or nephews, whatever, they're free to join. It's intended for beginners. There's going to be some experienced folks on the field assisting, and it's for free. And it's promotion for baseball and softball leagues. Their registration is open. Just put it out there.
Mm-hmm.
For what ages?
Ages, it's open, right? 7 and up. I believe.
Yeah, it's for 7 to 12.
Yeah.
I am taking 12-year-old kids that are moving up. I'm gonna ask, spread the word as much as you can. It's free. I'm gonna be giving prizes. There's gonna be a professional baseball player, an ex-professional baseball player that is gonna be helping me.
Oh, that's nice.
And
The middle school, my students are 13 majority. Maybe there's a couple that are 12, but if they can attend.
yeah, I'm not closing the doors to anybody, but I just gotta give a certain date so we can have an idea. But I'm not closing the doors for anybody.
Okay.
Mhm. Well, thank you.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
The place?
It's gonna be at the middle school. We're gonna use both fields.
Middle school.
Yeah, middle school, because we're
Excellent.
gonna use both fields, one for softball, one for baseball.
Okay. Yeah, we'll try to be there. On the last baseball clinic, you were there too, actually.
Yeah.
Like 2 years ago before this COVID event. And it was a very beautiful event. I enjoy it. And that's one of the reasons why I'm actually keep involved into this, because the opportunity to serve the community. So thank you, Mr. Lopez, for the efforts that you put into this, and definitely I will try to be there on the opening ceremony. I mean, opening or closing or during the whole event. We'll see how my schedule works. So, okay. Then I would like to, I know it is, you must be tired at 7:31. Guess what? My objective was to finish this before 7:30. And we got there, so I'm a happy camper. But before I make the motion to adjourn, any discussions before we adjourn? Miss?
Not discussions, but once again, in polling different parents out there, community feedback, there's still an increase in positive feedback that is towards Parks and Recreation staff. They like seeing city staff out there engaging. I'm not sure why it's something new to certain community members, because Parks and Rec staff have always been out and about with the different events, but continuously it keeps growing. So it is creating that positive bridging of any gaps that may have been created or existed in the past between Parks and Rec and the community at large. So I just wanted to throw that out there that overall, at least from polling that I've done randomly of parents out at events and at the park, it is very positive. So if you can share that with your staff, that they are making a positive difference in the community, it is appreciated by a large number of community members. So
thank you. Will do.
Thank you very much. Then I would like to, if there's no more discussion, then I would like to entertain a motion to adjourn. Being actually 7:33, I need if someone will be kind enough to second my motion to adjourn at 7:33. Okay, thank you, Miss Urquiza, for second the motion to adjourn at 7:33. Then those in favor to adjourn, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you very much. Meeting adjourned.
And real quick, if I can get a picture of the three of you guys.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
And then as a quick note, and it's never been a big issue, but the vice should be sitting to your right and secretary should be sitting to your left.
Okay.
The next meeting, if we can make that move.
Perfect. Copy that. Okay.
But yeah, if I can get a picture of yourself, Joanna,